Pelosi caught playing with something nasty at SOTU, didn't know camera was on her. If you had the chance to watch last night's State of the Union address by President Trump, you know that it was an emotionally charged event. The president honored some very deserving service members, police, and families who had lost someone this year. He also did what we all expected, which was to recap the nation's victories this year as pertains to jobs and the economy, and stressed our need for more border security and immigration reform. Also, just as expected, the left retained their seats for most of the night, handing out applause in stingy amounts, and generally looking like they were born drinking pickle juice and had been sucking lemons ever since. The queen of the Sourpuss Brigade was, of course, their real-life leader, Nancy Pelosi. The Washington Times reports that she is making headlines, just with her facial expressions. President Donald Trump delivered what most hailed as a very strong State of the Union speech that hit the high points, addressed the low points and soothed and smoothed over the partisan points, and through it all, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi managed to maintain a scowl. Other Democrats may have their hands sitting, but when it comes to expressing distaste with this president, Pelosi takes the cake. Bluntly put, the woman looked pissed. Now it's true, others in her party managed to convey dissatisfaction during the speech. There's this, from former White House spokesman Sean Spicer: the group not clapping for historically low Black and Hispanic unemployment are Democrats. In case you were wondering, somebody ought to make a montage of her State of the Union face. It's classic Democrat disgust and can no doubt be used time and again as a pictorial expression of scorn in future news and blog reports. However, Pelosi's sour faces weren't the end of her delightful surprises for the evening. As we all know, Pelosi is rather advanced in years, and as much as everyone in Congress wants you to believe that they're a bunch of spring chickens, still functioning at 100%, that might not be the case. As it turns out, Pelosi let a little bit of her age slip when she didn't know that the camera was on her. The Daily Wire reports that cameras and commentators alike were shocked, and a little grossed out by what they saw Pelosi doing while the president was speaking. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, DCA, put on her sourpuss face for President Donald Trump's first State of the Union address and appeared to be playing with her dentures. Pelosi, who sat and did not clap for much of the night, was caught on camera appearing to be adjusting something in her mouth, as several media personalities quickly pointed out that they believed she was playing with her dentures. As disgusting as Pelosi's gross habit is, it appears to just be an absent-minded habit that she has when she's thinking, plotting about something important. Her entire body language shows just how frustrated she is with the entire night, and she wasn't alone. Everyone who watched Tuesday night's speech could tell that the Democrats were not at all happy with what the president had to say about the State of the Union. At a time when the president called for unity, they couldn't be bothered to stand, or show appreciation, even when the president talked about a decrease in unemployment among the minorities that they so loudly cater to. The Washington Examiner reports that White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders spoke on this very issue in an interview with CNN. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said Wednesday that House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi is a symbol of Democrats' bitterness toward President Trump, and said Democrats would be better off if she smiled sometimes. She was reacting to a question on CNN about Pelosi's dour reaction to Trump's State of the Union address, during which she was mostly unresponsive. "I think Nancy Pelosi looks like that all the time," Sanders said on CNN. "I think she should smile a lot more often. I think the country would be better for it." She seems to kind of embody the bitterness that belongs in the Democrat Party right now, Sanders added. Sanders also said Pelosi and Democrats have to make a big decision about whether they will continue to let their hatred of Trump get in the way of getting things done. They need to decide, do they love America more than they hate this president, and are they willing to put some of those differences aside, come together and do what's right for this country? She asked. Every president wants the other party to come together. That's what they all say because they want to be able to unify the two parties. It helps them get more done. But usually, it's on big diplomatic issues that both parties will never agree on. In this case, It's on issues that are going to make the lives and pocketbooks of every American better. But since it's not something that they were given permission to be happy about, they kept their seats and any chance of standing for change.